name is John Sonnedecker, and I'm the founder of Blackfoot Studios. What you just saw was some pre-alpha footage of our first-person tactical shooter Ground Branch. I've been in the game industry for over 15 years, getting started as an original member of Red Storm Entertainment, working on such classic titles as Rainbow Six, Rogue Spear, and Ghost Recon as a lead artist, the PC versions. I've also had the pleasure of working with the United States Special Operations Command, developing training and mission rehearsal applications. In fact, some of those things learned and technology developed are in use with Ground Branch. Now, I'm not a PR person, just a game developer, trying to make a game that I've wanted to do for many, many years. And I'm sure there are plenty of you out there that would like to see it as well. I've messed this video up 1,000,001 times already. So why don't we just get rid of this talking head, and why don't I just show you what Ground Branch is all about. Everything you see is an early work in progress, especially this UI. But you should get a good feel for what we want Ground Branch to be. So one of the core concepts of Ground Branch is the ability to fully customize your gear and weapons, with your choices having a direct impact in the game. If you equip a certain weapon, then you better take the proper ammo for it as well. This allows players to carry items for their squad, even though they may not use them themselves. You are able to save and load any number of profiles, and these can be freely moved from computer to computer or even shared amongst your friends. Players will be able to choose the type of body armor or vest, as well as uniform style that best suits their playstyle and needs of their team. Each vest type has a set number of what we call hard points. These are areas that gear can be attached to, and this has a direct effect in our encumbrance system. Choosing a body armor gives you more protection and allows you to carry more gear, but it also makes you heavier and a bit bulkier. Choosing the smaller chest harness allows you to carry less gear, but allows you to maneuver and move just a little bit faster. There are also no class-specific restrictions, and players can equip any gear or weapons they choose. What you equip yourself with here is what you take into the game. And of course, we've got cool explosions, and some neat particle effects. Ground Branch utilizes a unique true first-person system with full body awareness. You are able to free look independent of weapon aiming. And your weapons have accurate collision within the world you are in. So shorter weapons would be a better choice in close quarter situations, as they would in real life. Special operators jump all the time, and so can you, but you won't be able to effectively employ your weapon while doing so. Our maps have a time of day setting, and in-game gear reflects that. This can be used for squads for various things like setting up link times. Weapons will have appropriate rate of fire selection ability. If you reload with ammo left in the magazine, the mag is put back in a pouch for later use. Reloading when empty drops the spent mag to the ground and is even a little faster. We don't just use Special Operations personnel as advisors, but as active members of our design team. So here are a few of their thoughts.
When I first coined the term NORG, it began as this off-the-cuff comment. But the ideas of that base plate of development are very solid and very real. Just like guerrilla warfare, there is a vast difference between advising and participating. Our job as special operators isn't just to advise the way you see in other titles. If that were the case, Ground Branch would wind up just like those other games. Some developers' idea of cool equipment and cool moments. Instead, we actively participated in the development of Ground Branch. Our job is not to change the functionality or capability of a weapons platform. The manufacturers and makers of those weapons platforms, the aftermarket attachments, and the equipment have already seen to that. They've already said this is how they work. Instead, we look at how that weapon is employed, really employed, how the allies and the opposition conduct their operations. And we create the situations that allow realistic tactics to function. The likelihood of success in-game is the same as it is in real combat. It's based upon tactical thinking, knowledgeable employment, decisive action, and daring rather than adherence to an artificial set of rules created to properly mesh with an artificial world that was built around some desk jockey's idea of a cool moment.
So let's see all of this in action. Well, there was a little bit about Ground Branch. As I mentioned, it's still early and we have a ways to go, but we are aiming for a truly authentic and realistic experience where your choices as a player matter and have real consequences in-game. The Ground Branch design focuses on details that you cannot find in today's so-called tactical shooters. Things like an accurate weapon view and handling, correct modeling and usage of ammunition and weapon magazines, accurate modeling of a player's health, and absolutely no regenerating health in this game. And gameplay that doesn't rely on unlocks and achievements to keep players engaged are just a few. Up until this point, we've put our heart and soul into this project, but we just cannot continue without proper financial backing. And that's where you, the Kickstarters, come in. There are plenty of first-person shooters out there, and even some that claim to be realistic and tactical. Unfortunately, they just don't have the gameplay that we're after. I try to cover some of the main points in this video, but we also have a lot of information out there on our Ground Branch website. I highly encourage everyone to read the descriptions below. We outline many points of the game, and I'm sure a lot of your questions will be answered. We also have a lot of detailed information on the game website at www.groundbranch.com. With your funding, and just as importantly, your help spreading the word, let's take the final steps in this journey together. Let's make Ground Branch. Thank you for your support.